Hello everyone. Today, to the great discontent of Elon Musk, I will be talking to you about hydrogen fuel cell vehicles, an interesting alternative to electric vehicles. So, how do hydrogen fuel cell vehicles work? Let's dive right in. As you can see, there are some key components featured in this picture of a hydrogen fuel cell vehicle. Right over here, you have your hydrogen tank, which can be fueled up at hydrogen gas stations. Over here, you have your fuel cell stacks, which can vary in size depending on the amount of energy you need to power your vehicle. Right over here, you have your electric motor that will be powered by the magic of your fuel cell stacks. And so, how do we generate our much needed electricity? Let's zoom in a little on our fuel cell stack to find out. This is an image of a stack of fuel cells, because obviously to power a car, we need more than a single fuel cell. We can't see much of the components over here, so let's zoom in a little more. As you can see in this image, there are two main outputs from the outside world that go into our fuel cell. The purple little marbles over here are hydrogen molecules, basically H2, and the green little marbles over here are oxygen molecules, basically O2. Zooming in with final time, we're able to see all the various components of our singular fuel cell. Over here, we have first of all our anode. On the other side, we have our cathode. We have also a catalyst and an essential electrolyte membrane between our anode and our cathode. Our hollow anode is filled up by incoming hydrogen molecules, which are then split by our catalyst. Therefore, we have H plus ions as well as electrons. H plus ions can easily pass through our electrolyte membrane, who only let in ions. However, our electrons cannot pass through the electrolyte membrane. So, while our H plus ions are able to easily reach the other side to the cathode, our electrons are forced to pass through a circuit right over here. And everybody who listened to their high school physics class know very well that transporting electrons through a circuit is basically a synonym of electricity. Therefore, at the end of our adventure, our H plus ions, our electrons, and our cathode that was filled up with oxygen molecules that came from the ambient air outdoors all meet up together to form one happy family that is called H2O. So, our electricity generation necessary to power our motor contains two main reactions. And the interesting part is that these two reactions feature no greenhouse gases nor any ambient air polluters. Let me insert a little disclaimer though, that sometimes H2 production can be environmentally detrimental, so we have to watch out in the way that we produce our H2 molecules. Now that we know how fuel cell vehicles work, let's see how they stack up against their arch enemy, the electric vehicle. The question is, can fuel cell vehicles compete with the heavily favored mode of transport in a decarbonized transport economy? We will now compare one of the few hydrogen fuel cell vehicle models on the market, the 2021 Toyota Mirai, with a basic, yet very popular electric vehicle model, the 2021 Chevrolet Bolt. For the first category, we ask ourselves, which car is able to travel the longest distance before needing to refill? For this first category, our hydrogen fuel cell vehicle comes out on top. For the second category, fuel efficiency, which car is able to travel the longest distance for every unit of energy consumed? Electric vehicles are more efficient with their energy, so therefore for this category, they come out the winner. Now, which vehicle has the higher upfront purchase costs? Unfortunately for the hydrogen fuel cell vehicle, even the most basic models are still extremely expensive. When we look at the electric vehicles, who can easily be purchased below $40,000, it is obvious that they will make themselves more attractive to consumers in this category. As for the charging price, which was measured in California, since almost all hydrogen gas stations in North America are located currently in California, we could see that once again, the Chevrolet Bolt is a lot cheaper to charge than its rival, the Toyota Mirai. So for cost savings, once again, the electric vehicle comes on top. However, when we look at the time to completely charge your vehicle, we could see that the Toyota Mirai 2021 is a lot closer to a regular gasoline car, about 3 to 5 minutes to charge. On the other hand, your Chevrolet Bolt will take you 9.5 hours to charge, which is in a whole other stratosphere when compared to the Toyota Mirai. Finally, when it comes to acceleration, the Chevrolet Bolt gets the edge once again. As a matter of fact, in general, electric vehicles have extremely good acceleration, in this case, leaving the Toyota Mirai 2021 in the dust. Now, for the moment of truth. Which of these two technologies should be considered the car of the future? Well, as of today, hydrogen-powered vehicles are facing an uphill battle against electric vehicles. You could charge your electric vehicle at your house, and there are also more than 100,000 charging stations and outlets in the US alone. Currently, there are only 50 hydrogen gas stations in North America, and 46 of them are in California. Installing more is essential for any scale-up to be feasible. As I said before, the way we produce hydrogen can also be an issue. In many places around the globe, current hydrogen production involves steam methane reformation, which releases greenhouse gases. Obviously, assessing the total environmental damage of a technology is extremely difficult, and electric vehicles, which use lithium-ion batteries, have their own environmental detrimentals in their own rights. However, with many governments aiming carbon neutrality as a top priority, production involving biomass or other renewables will help garner further interest for our fuel cell vehicles. To conclude, if we're able to overcome these barriers, we could reasonably scale up production, which should bring down costs to consumers, solving the final main issue of hydrogen vehicles. However, in the meantime, electric vehicles are still the favorites to replace gasoline cars in the short run. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it.